Hey there, I'm Jada L. Roberts, author of Sharing the Mountain with Bigfoot. Welcome to my channel, where I share authentic stories, personal experiences, and chilling tales from the depths of the woods. If you enjoy the videos, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. And if you love reading Bigfoot stories, be sure to check out my books on Amazon.
They say the Appalachian Trail shelters are a godsend for hikers, but the one I found that night was something else entirely. If I hadn't ducked inside it when the storm hit, I wouldn't be here to warn you. Whatever you do, never sleep in the old stone shelter near mile marker 183. I've been section hiking the Appalachian Trail for years, checking off bits and pieces whenever life allowed. I usually go solo, not because I'm a loner, but because I like the silence, the way the woods swallow you whole and spit you out changed. This particular trip was supposed to be a quick 3-day trek from Iron Mountain Gap to Damascus, Virginia. The weather looked fine. I packed light. A little food, water purification tablets, my tarp and hammock setup, and a .38 revolver. I kept more for peace of mind than anything else. I didn't expect the storm that rolled in late on the first night. A mean one, thunder shaking the ridge, sheets of rain turning the trail into a mud river. I wasn't prepared to camp in that mess, so I checked my map and found a shelter listed just 2 miles away. No name, just a dot, older structure, one of the first shelters built in the area. Perfect, I thought. I'd wait out the weather, get some sleep, and move on in the morning. I should have kept walking. The shelter was hard to spot, hidden behind a curtain of rhododendrons, and half swallowed by the woods. I only saw it when lightning lit it up for half a second. A crumbling stone hut with a low roof and open front. Ancient, like something left behind by settlers who vanished long ago. I ducked inside, dripping and cold, glad to be out of the wind. The shelter smelled like mildew, wet moss, and something else. Something faint, but sour, like spoiled meat. I figured a raccoon or possum had died in the corner, but I didn't feel like looking for it in the dark. My flashlight revealed some carvings on the stone walls, including names and dates, most of which were faded. One stood out. He came in the night, 1978. I chuckled to myself. Some old-timers trying to spook hikers. Worked better than they probably intended. I strung up my hammock inside the shelter, had a protein bar, then lay back and listened to the rain hammering the tin roof. I should have been asleep in minutes. Instead, I kept hearing noises just outside. At first, it was footsteps. Not the random crunch of leaves, but steady pacing. Someone was walking just beyond the tree line. I froze, held my breath. Maybe another hiker caught in the storm? But when I called out, "Hello," the footsteps stopped. I waited. Nothing. Then a branch snapped. Loud, sharp, closer now, followed by another. And another. Heavy, deliberate steps, circling the shelter. I grabbed my flashlight and scanned the woods. The beam cut through the fog and rain, catching trees, brush, and shadows. Nothing moved. I stayed up, heart pounding, gripping the revolver. It didn't come any closer that night, but it didn't leave either. When morning came, the forest was soaked but silent. No birds, no rustling leaves, just dripping branches and stillness. I packed up fast, ready to put miles between me and that weird shelter. But when I stepped outside, I saw them. Footprints. Not boot prints, not bare tracks. Bare feet. Huge. Each print was easily twice the size of mine, sunk deep into the mud. 5 toes, no claws, just human-like, but enormous. They circled the shelter, multiple times, and they led back into the woods. I should have turned around then and there, but I told myself it had to be a hoax. Some hillbilly screwing with hikers, maybe even wearing fake feet to leave tracks. I'd heard of weirder things. I kept going. By nightfall, I was exhausted. The trail had washed out in spots, and I'd lost time detouring around downed trees. I didn't want to camp, not after last night. But I hadn't seen another hiker or shelter all day. Just before dusk, I found a fire ring near a dry patch under an outcropping. I set up my tarp, ate some jerky, and kept the revolver beside me. And then the howling started. It came from the valley below, low, mournful, almost like a wolf, but deeper, like something was hurting when it screamed. The sound echoed for miles, bouncing off the ridges. Then another howl joined it, farther away, answering. Then another, closer, too close. I didn't sleep. I sat under that tarp all night with my back to the rock, gun in hand, fire burning low. By dawn, I was shaking from exhaustion. The third day was when I found the journal. It was lying in the middle of the trail, soaked through and nearly falling apart, spiral-bound, mold growing on the cover. I picked it up and thumbed through the pages. Most were illegible, but a few still had readable lines. He watches at night. Smells like a rotting deer. The eyes, they glow. Don't go to the old shelter. He always comes back there. He drags the bodies. I heard it. I heard them scream. God forgive me. I left her behind. I stopped reading. I didn't want to know more, but I couldn't leave it there either. I shoved it into my pack and kept moving. By early afternoon, I came to a junction, an unmarked trail branching off into thicker woods. It wasn't on the map, but the footprints were there again, fresh, leading down that path. I stood there for 10 minutes, torn. Every instinct said no, but part of me, a sick curiosity, I guess. I wanted to see, to know. So, I followed them. The trail dead-ended at a clearing. At the center was a pit, maybe 8 feet deep and 20 wide, lined with stones, old, like a well that had been drained. Bones littered the ground, some small, maybe raccoon, maybe deer, others long, human-shaped, picked clean. And the smell, that same sour, rotting stench from the shelter, only stronger now, choking. I was about to back away when I heard it. Breathing, slow, wet, from the trees behind me. I turned, and I saw it. It was tall, nearly 8 feet at least, with matted, black-brown hair hanging in clumps. Its eyes glowed faintly yellow in the dim light, filtering through the trees. Its face wasn't fully ape, not fully human. The skin around its mouth peeled in places, exposing black gums and jagged teeth. Blood, old or fresh, I couldn't tell, stained its hands and chest. It didn't move right away. It just watched me. And then it made a sound. Low, guttural. A kind of growl that vibrated through my ribs. I backed up. It stepped forward. I raised the revolver, shaking, and fired. Once. Twice. It screamed. Not in pain, but like it was angry. The sound split the air. Birds exploded from the canopy above. I ran. I don't know how long I sprinted. Hours, maybe. The woods blurred past me. My legs burned. I tripped twice, scraped my hands and knees. I didn't stop until I hit the road. An old 2-lane highway. No cars. But there was a trail sign nearby. Appalachian Spur Trail. 2 miles to trailhead. I laughed. Nearly cried. I followed it, limping, until I found the trailhead parking lot. My truck was still there. I didn't look back once. That was 3 weeks ago. I haven't slept more than a few hours at a time since. Sometimes I hear scratching outside my house. My dogs bark at nothing. And sometimes, when I check the mud near the trees in my backyard, there are footprints. Too big to be real, but I know they are. I've tried to tell people, posted in hiking forums. reported it anonymously. They laughed, said I must have been dehydrated or hallucinating. Fine, let them laugh. But don't go near that stone shelter at mile marker 183, because he's still out there, and I think he remembers me.